Hey guys, what's up? It's Sasha. In today's story, I'm going to talk about this lady that shocked not just me, but other people at a restaurant I worked at. Yo, this story is truly messed up. Stick with it. Okay, well, I didn't really work there per se. Me and a homie, we were there for 2 weeks. I was in culinary school, and we had 2 weeks off for Easter. So we spent the time there to get, some credit and experience. This happened back in Haiti, and I swear I cannot make this stuff up. Hopefully, it is not something you end up relating to. Actually, that'd be very weird. Jumping into it, this lady, it seems, it was her first time working in a restaurant. You have to understand, in third or developing, however you want to call them, countries, a lot of people are ignorant. I'm not talking about, I didn't go to medical school, so I'm ignorant in medicine ignorant. I mean, almost no street smarts nor common sense to save their lives type of ignorant. Mother lovers that leave those they pass by looking and asking the same thing. What? Or maybe she was naive. Bro, I didn't mind working at that place, but people made me miserable. If you've had a job, you know exactly what I'm talking about. People who thought me and the homes were there to take their spots. I couldn't care less. But when you deal with those who stick with what they know, you feel me? Not to get too off topic, there's a French expression, avoir les yeux plus gros que la pince, which translates to having your eyes bigger than your stomach. But you know it in English as to bite off more than you can chew. We'll get back to that. So, for someone in culinary school who didn't really like what I was doing with my life, I was distracted cutting some bacon and somehow cut off half the nail off my ring finger. Yo, that shit bled like crazy. I took a time out, take care of myself, and I guess the lady was doing inventory, bruh. She was just looking around and making notes of the food we had in stock, yet she seemed off as she did this. She didn't look smart doing it. She looked so vague. I pay you no mind. 2 weeks, am I right? Yo, few days go by and she is still just checking out the inventory, and again, I'm not sure what her role was. She was just there. She could have been some assistant or anything, but jumping to the big day, bruh, one night it's time to leave. And let me say again that this happened in Haiti. Hot temperatures almost daily. This lady is exiting the restaurant wearing a winter coat. This restaurant is attached to a hotel. And a security guard who was, doing his job started calling out after the lady, who started picking up the pace, wrapping herself even more in the coat. Dudes, the security guard looked concerned, and I did not blame him. See, the lady, as she was walking away, she was bleeding down her legs. The guard was approaching, asking, "Hey, how can I help?" And the lady started panicking. The guard put a hand on her shoulder, and she fell to the ground and she shook for a bit. She never got back up. I tried looking for a proper term for what I assume happened. Bruh, when they opened her coat, she had so many pieces of stolen meat from the restaurant, and they had been thawing, and that's what was dripping. Yo, there was, a random mention of some quickly depleting dry goods in the restaurant that no one really knew what had happened to it. And now seeing this, it would seem that she thought she was suspected of theft and tried to get away. And a hand put on her shoulder, the shock or stress took too great of a toll on her. The guard wasn't even aware nor interested in theft. That's what sucks. He really looked concerned as at the sight, of blood. Also, I never graduated culinary school. The 2010 Haitian earthquake saw to that, but that's its own story time. Moral of the story, don't steal for any reason. What I mean by ignorance earlier, it was pretty much specific. Some people will see an amount of something and think, oh, they won't notice if I take just one or a couple. Bruh, just don't steal. I'm sure you enjoy what you purchase more. Don't, it's wrong. Just don't do it. Anyway, I really hope that no one relates to such an extreme case, because the lady, she was young. You know, it's quite sad that a life ended that way. As always, dudes, all for one for all, Hesgé out. And really, no pun intended, that was a scenario of biting off more than you can chew. You feel me? Like, oh Lord, that came out so wrong, but you feel me.